This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Thundercats! Ho! Welcome to Retromania!
What up, everybody? It's Wednesday.
It's Monday.
No, it's Wednesday.
God damn it, Eddie Lion. Are we just doing the... Hold on.
What up, everybody? It's Monday,
That sounds more like it.
and you know what that means.
It's podcast day.
It is podcast day. Welcome to episode 13, Retromania 1. Retromania. Retromania. Oh my god. Retromania. Retromania. Thundercats.
Thundercats?
Thundercats.
Ho!
We're going to be talking about the classic cartoon, The Thundercats.
Man, that show goes all the way back to the way back.
It goes back like car seats, man.
I ain't even playing with you.
In a Buick.
Testify. Nah, for real though. We're going to be doing a series. We've decided every month we're dubbing it Retromania, and we're just going to go for all of the old cartoons and
All the old nerddoms.
everything that's old and nerdy. Video games, all of it. If it was in the 80s or like 90s, what we'll say, we'll say 90s.
90s and below.
90s and back. That's where we're gonna stick. Maybe we do a Rugrats episode or a Nicktoons episode.
Ooh, Nicktoons.
That would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would vote to watch some Rocko's Modern Life, and Doug, and his boy Mosquito Valentine. Hey, Doug. Anyway, should we get into the news?
Let's get into the nerd news.
Yeah. First off, they finally did it 2 fucking years, and now you can have friends in Pokemon.
Yes.
If you've played Pokemon in any of the games, you understand that like trading and battling with your friends and stuff is all a staple in the franchise, and it's taken 2 years in Pokemon Go for us to be able to at least interact with other fucking people now.
It was so funny how, like, at first they were like, well, if you want to make friends and interact and stuff, you got to be, like, level 50.
Well, and I found out, like, in doing my research and also getting bitched out by a lot of people for bitching, when they do, like, major shit like this, when they roll it out, they tend to, like, segregate it, like, early on so it doesn't overload the servers. So, like, had they just done it down to level 25 out the gate, like, everybody and their fucking mom would have been, like, blowing that shit up.
Oh.
And then, you know, that would have fucking been shitty.
So you got bitched out, huh?
Oh, I got bitched out because I was talking a lot of shit. I was like, word. So I'm only level 30. I guess I won't be fucking trading any Pokemon anytime soon because I damn sure ain't playing enough to get to level 38 that fast. Like, that wasn't a thing at all.
No, thank you. I'm a level 27, and I'm just like... Ugh.
And they just barely allowed you to do it today, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
Became friends today.
Eddie Lion and I became friends in Pokemon Go for finally. So...
It's only been out a whole 24 hours.
Dude, I've already got, like... I'm being... Like, I want to say picky and choosy. I don't want to, like, over-friend people and then just have all of this shit popping up on my screen all the time. So I've decided to limit it to 25.
25 sounds like a solid number.
And then that's it. Like, and I'll delete, you know, people for
Stuff.
for friends that are actual friends of mine. Because
Right.
I've just got a bunch of random... I got you, Nick Lewis, and then a bunch of random motherfuckers. Eventually... If other friends, I don't know. Do I have a lot of friends that play this fucking game? I don't necessarily know that I do.
I don't know.
Derek plays it, right?
Yep.
Basically, everyone who's been on this show plays the game.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
it.
much, yeah.
There you go. Anyway, so yeah, fucking hit us up on one of our social medias and get our fucking friend codes, and let's make this shit happen, people.
Let's do it. Give me gifts.
Gifts. What else we got, Eddie Line?
Spider-Man Homecoming sequel title revealed by Tom Holland. Spider-Man actor Tom Holland has taken to his Instagram to accidentally reveal the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel title, which is visibly seen to be Spider-Man Far From Home. This title reflects what Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige previously confirmed about in the 2019 sequel, taking Peter Parker out of New York for a European adventure in London that will reflect the global aftermath of Avengers, Infinity War, and Avengers 4.
See, so he's coming back. Also, Tom Holland, notorious for fucking leaking shit.
Yeah, I think that's his job.
I think that Kevin Feige was like, hey man, we're gonna let you be the guy that leaks the shit,
So
and we're gonna
everything.
every time just be like, oh Tom,
Yeah, and he'll just like
doop doo doo doo,
he'll put his hands up and be like, that's me,
right? Because I think at this point, like he's like, I don't want to say he's leaking shit in air quotes because it's not. Like, how obvious is it that the title is on the screen of your tablet and you're holding it up to the camera?
Yeah,
someone's obviously taking the picture for you too. So, what?
Yeah,
what?
No. And then like Marvel is just gonna let that shit go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think like basically Mark Ruffalo got pushed out of the hey, I got spoilers angle, and then they gave it to Tom Holland.
Yep.
So that's definitely a thing. Excited as fuck. As you know, Mysterio is reported to be the villain in this, played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
put him in a bubble again.
Good God. And they will too. It's a fishbowl that's on this guy's head. He's Bubble Boy again. Son of a bitch.
You're just pissed off this time.
I'm making a meme about that on my lunch break tonight.
Do it.
It's happening. It's going to be a fucking thing.
Bubble Boy Part 2.
That shit's real, dude. We're getting a sequel. That's what it's going to say. It's going to have a picture of Bubble Boy, and then it'll have a picture of Mysterio, and then it'll just say, we're getting a sequel. Fucking made right there.
There it is. Patent pending.
Nerd podcast. What?
What else do we have in the news, Doc?
We have shitty news. Big Van Vader died.
Oh.
If you don't remember Vader from his, early 90s, late 90s runs in WCW, he was notorious for the Vader bomb. And that was the thing. He was also on Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
He played Ethan Suplee's dad in an episode.
Mm-hmm. He was also very notorious for moonsaults.
Yeah. Did you know that he once put his own eye back in socket mid-ring?
Are you serious?
Yeah, he got his eye knocked out, and then he popped that bitch in and kept fucking wrestling, dude.
Oh, boy.
And then he also is the one that ripped Mick Foley's ear off.
Yes, I knew that.
Yes, he did that mid-match. Like, apparently he got him in a really bad headlock and he tore it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, when they realized shit was going on, he just reached up like a paper towel and just yanked it the fuck off.
Yeah, like a gangster. Mick Foley was like, yeah, cool.
Let's do this.
Mick Foley was all about getting his fucking ear ripped off.
And you know what's funny is, like, Mick Foley was kind of a pretty man before he got into wrestling.
Yeah, he really was. He was a good-looking dude.
You would never see that shit now.
Yeah, now he's just all fucked up.
Anyway, Vader, whose real name was Leon White, passed away from complications from pneumonia this last Monday, the 18th, I believe. Mm-hmm. His son Jesse confirmed on Twitter on Wednesday. White was an All-American offensive lineman at the University of Colorado and had a brief NFL career before he wrecked his knee and found his true calling as a wrestler. He had not been in good health for some time. He'd been dealing with congestive heart failure for a while, to the point that he had tweeted in 2016 that he had 2 years left to live. Despite that, he had wrestled as recently as April 2017, when he appeared on the career 45th anniversary tour of Tatsumi Fujinami. Did I say that right? Tatsumi Fujinami.
No.
Yeah, Tatsumi Fujinami! One of his greatest career rivals. And honestly, weren't they like debating putting him in the Hall of Fame this last year?
Yeah, they were.
That was like a big thing. People were pushing for him really hard. And it sucks now because they'll probably put him in next year just because of this.
Yeah.
And we could have fucking had Vader up there for real, kicking some fucking shit and being a heel like he was and just being fucking Vader.
Dude, one of the craziest moonsaults from a big man.
Yeah.
Ever.
Not many big men do those, but when they do, can you just imagine like a 350-pound dude coming down on your chest? Fuck that.
Chest to chest, dude.
None of that.
When
dude.
his chest is bigger than yours.
Yeah, dude. Well, his everything is bigger than, even his head is bigger than mine, and that's hard to fucking do.
Yeah, you got a big ass head.
It's
though.
fucking really real, bitch.
But time to get to the subject of the hour. Thundercats.
Thundercats. Ho. Hoes. If you didn't know, Thundercats is an American franchise featuring a fictional group of cat-like humanoid aliens. The characters were created by Tobin Wolfe, in air quotes, Ted. I don't know how you get Ted from Tobin.
I don't know.
I don't.
Same reason you get Dick from penis. I mean, Richard.
I don't get anyway. Originally featured an animated television series called The Thundercats, running from 1985 to 1989, which was animated by Japanese studio Pacific Animation Corporation and co-produced by Rankin Bass Animated Entertainment. So 85, 89 when this came out, and I'd like to say I caught it and started getting into it around 88, 87, 88.
94 for me.
Yeah, I was but a wee lad, like of 5 or 6. And
it was like 7. I think it was like 7 when it came out.
I was
when I was exposed to it, not when it came out.
Yeah. I was huge Thundercats fan. Always known to be carrying around my Panthro action figure.
Nice.
Because Panthro is my G.
I had a little die-cast Lion-O.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. He was heavy, and I was like,
if you threw it at one of your siblings, it would do damage.
It would, like, mad damage. The original Thundercats show was animated in Japan while being produced, written, and voice acted in the United States. The series was originally distributed by Rankin Bass Productions, then parent company Telepictures Corporation, which would later merge with Lorimar Pictures in 1986.
Lorimar was a thing back then.
Yeah, Lorimar was the G.
They were everywhere, like cartoon-wise. Yeah. Like every cartoon that was out was produced by Lorimar.
They were like the action version of Hanna-Barbera back in the day.
Right. And you know what's funny about like Thundercats too is that we were talking on the Dragon Ball episode that we're not terribly familiar with anime, but if you look at like these classic fucking 80s cartoons, Thundercats, He-Man, G.I. Joe, She-Ra,
all Japanese made.
Yeah, they're all, animated in Japan, and so they have that anime feel. Mm-hmm. So I could see that being a huge reason why anime popped off with our generation in like a big way. And subsequently our siblings, because you look at Thundercats and it was dubbed for English. But, I don't even know that there is, like, a Japanese version.
No.
It's American.
It's all American. Yeah. It was just, it's just like you were saying, it was produced and written and animated in Japan, but it was all voice and acted in the
States.
In the States,
yeah. So, were we here or here? In January 1989, Lorimar Telepictures was purchased and folded into Warner Brothers, whose television syndication arm would eventually assume distribution of the show. Warner Brothers has owned the rights to the series and all Lorimar Telepictures programming from that point on.
Warner Brothers is...
They're on it. They're up there, and I figure someday they'll get bought by Disney as well.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, yeah. Another piece of nerd news: Fox's assets have been bought by Disney.
They're finalizing the deal, but yeah, they've taken the higher bid. And then I watched a thing where they explained how that's just how the business works. They're like, oh, someone will make a lowball offer, and Disney's original offer was pretty lowball, and I'm like, $51 billion is lowball.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you could buy the state of Utah for $51 billion.
$51 billion.
Anyway, yeah, man. And then, someone always swoops in with a higher offer, i.e. Comcast. And then the people, if they really want it, will make a bigger offer. And sure as fuck, Disney was like, we really want this. We want Avatar. We want Aliens. We definitely want the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
Oh my God, can you...
It's going down. It's gonna be, by 2025, Marvel will be everywhere on your toilet paper, and they'll make Marvel flavored fucking ramen. Yeah.
I'm already eating it.
It's Groot flavored. Yum.
Groolicious.
No, we can come up with something better than that.
Now that's an awesome mix.
Yeah, I see what you did. Guardians of the Galaxy ramen. That's an awesome mix. Good job. Anyway, back on track.
The inhabitants of the planet Thundera evacuate just before it is destroyed. They were pursued by a band of mutants. All but one of their escape ships was destroyed. Only a small group of Thunderans, the Thundercats, remained. With only half engine power, the group, which was led by Jaga, had to set a course for the nearest planet. Jaga commanded their ship while the other 7 were in their stasis tubes. Jaga died on their journey to the third Earth, and their ship crashed there. Soon, they made friends with various groups in the area as they designed Soon, they made friends with various groups in the area, and they designed a fortress. Mumra, the centuries-old embodiment of evil, along with the mutants that destroyed the rest of the Thunderans, are a constant threat. But Lion-O, the new leader of the Thundercats, with his weapon, the Sword of Omens, will help the Thundercats to have a standing chance. And the first season was actually completed in 1983, but was not publicly shown until 2 years later.
Can we also talk about how fucking serious cartoons in the 80s were?
Fuck yeah, dude.
The whole everybody died, and then Jaga died, and then the last hope of the people crash landed, and I legit was scared of Mumra as a child.
I swear to God, bro.
Like, there was nothing even remotely cool about Mumra. Like, he was just scary as fuck and evil. Yeah, dude, with his fucking bandages flowing everywhere like fucking so many tentacles. Yeah, so I mean, even like in all of its cheesiness, He-Man was a fucking kind of a serious thing too.
It was, but even then, like it's just crazy how like different cartoons back then are from now. And I think we chose this one for our first Retromania episode because they're going to be remaking the Thundercats.
We'll get into that. I don't want to talk about it right now because it'll ruin everything. I'm on a high note, and I'm going to stay that way. So a couple facts. Well, I got more than a couple facts. I did some research on this one. Bernard Hoffer composed the Thundercats theme as well as incidental music, and the producer was Jules Bass, and she wrote the lyrics. And let's be honest, writing Thunder, 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 Thundercats is not, yeah, that's not very ubiquitous.
Yeah.
The setting of many installments of Thundercats was described as Third Earth. The present day was referred to as First Earth. So I'm assuming that was like the flashbacks or some shit like that.
Yeah,
they went back to whatever. But I always thought that was an interesting thing in the remake, and we'll get to that too. They totally like redid all the mythology. Anyway, but yeah, they redid the mythology and made it. If you haven't watched the new one, the 2011 one, you haven't watched any of that yet?
No.
Okay, well, you'll see.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to give away too much.
The TV movie Thundercats Ho! The movie was planned as a big screen movie for theaters, but when films like Transformers the movie and My Little Pony the movie had bombed, they got cold feet and released it as a TV movie. It later got split up into 5 parts.
Yeah, I got all that. When I acquired the Thundercats-ness for us, it's all of that's on there. And there's another serious but odd, and that's where they just don't do it justice. Fucking Transformers, man. Like, the movies are... I don't like the new movies. I haven't liked them since the first one. Like, I was not a fan of the first fucking Transformers.
I was a fan of the first 2.
I didn't like any of... Like, I have...
And then
they were okay, the first one.
The first one was great, and the second one was okay, and then it just kind of fucking...
They're off in the night right now, son.
It can't... Well, I mean, it's...
Did you see the Bumblebee trailer?
Yeah.
It looks like fucking The Shape of Water, but with robots. I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It's some fucking chick in the 80s, and she wants to get down with her Bumblebee.
Yeah, she does.
It sounds like a bad porno.
Yeah.
Bumblebee. Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
What are you doing here, Bumblebee?
Just some fucking guy in a cardboard Transformers costume.
Beep boop, boop, beep boop, my cock.
Oh, that's horribly fucking awesome. Love it, man. Fucking love it.
The DVD release on the second set is the cut up 5-part version. It has never been released uncut on DVD.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with that still, because I believe the TV movie itself was released like on a Monday through Friday type of setting.
And I love how unoriginal these people are with their movie titles. You know what I mean? Like, Thundercats Ho, the movie.
Well,
Transformers.
I mean, Thundercats Ho is pretty...
Yeah, but I mean, like, why would they have to add the movie?
Because it was the 80s and they needed to let you know that's what it was.
Right? That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
The Muppets movie.
Yeah. Like you said, Transformers, the movie. Ninja
My
Turtles,
Little Pony.
the movie.
My Little Pony, the movie.
Yeah. Like, that's what they needed to let you know. We were dumb kids. We didn't know things.
It's true. It's true.
Another awesome anime-ish mention for cartoons in that time, Voltron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voltron was cool.
See, look at all these cartoons we're dredging up, and now I'm starting to understand why people are so into anime these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were kind of fed it, and we stuck with it, and then we sought out, like, hardcore versions of it. You know, now we're watching Cowboy Bebop and fucking Death Note and what's that? The Titan one.
The Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan, yeah. You know,
which is a really good one.
I've heard. I've heard really good things.
Good, yeah.
You know, but then you also have what's that dude's name that does like Spirited Away and shit?
Oh, Miyazaki.
Yeah, you know, then you have people that get into that shit. They're like, so we started off light. You know, it's like we started off drinking wine coolers, and now we're on to absinthe.
Yeah.
You know, we're just fucking out there with
we didn't even go middle ground and try UV blue or
we've
some
gone
shit
full
like
on hentai with it in some cases.
Shit.
Like
Ninja Scroll.
Yeah, dude, like some of these motherfuckers, they're just like, I love Transformers so much I need to find anime people that fuck each other. Like,
it's true.
You know, hey, okay, whatever, man, that's cool. That's whatever.
I'm sure there's some mum-ra porn somewhere.
There's got to be out there. Speaking of segue, Mum-Ra is depicted serving the ancient spirits of evil, 4 unnamed malevolent gods depicted in statue form. They all have humanoid bodies, but with the head of animals: a boar, a crocodile, an ox, and a vulture.
Huh.
I need to watch these again, and I will.
We have them.
We have the ability.
Yeah.
Here at
the Nerd Corporation.
At the Nerd Corporation.
We have the technology.
We can make it happen. Right?
We
will rebuild him. That's a what is it, $6 million man? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's another wrestling thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because
that's how he got his name. Yeah.
Yeah. Except now he's stone cold.
Mm-hmm.
Not the $6 billion man, $6 million man. It cost money to make this man. That's all we know.
Yeah.
Whatever the increments may be. The cartoon was revived in 2011 as a prequel reboot following Lion-O and the Thundercats in their teenage years, and it's kind of that. That's kind of the feel you get. But they encounter like Mum-Ra and shit early on, and like I don't know, man. When we get to that section, because it's on here, I'll give you a little more info towards it, but I don't want to take away from that. So
okay. Much of the cast of the series is not native to Third Earth. The Thundercats are from a planet called Thundera. The mutants are from a planet called Plundar. I see what they did there. Mm-hmm. I see what they did there. And the Lunatics are from the moons of Plundar. They ended up on Third Earth through various interplanetary travels.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I like Thundera. I like Plundar. I have always wanted to vacation on the moons of Plundar.
I heard they're very nice when the sun hits them.
Yeah. Like nothing you've ever seen. Like I said on the reboot series thing, like it's weird. They're not on Thundera in the beginning.
Oh?
No. I think their citadel is called Thundera.
Well, that's dumb.
Like I said, they try and like adapt it to a whole other thing.
Right.
So, though Leonard Starr was identified as the head writer, the program was described as being based on characters created by Ted Wolfe. Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass, whose Rankin Bass Animated Entertainment produced the program through Telepictures, later a Warner Brothers company, recruited the same character voice providers as the same team of animators for Silverhawks, and an umbrella program titled Comic Strip, whose segment programs were called Street Frogs, Karate Cat, and the Tiger Sharks.
Wow.
I've never heard of any of that shit.
Neither have I.
And I was a kid when this shit was on.
Street Frogs.
Dude, Silverhawks. Street Frogs just is a stretch for me,
Street
I think.
Frog. Like, it's literally...
I mean, Hong Kong... Karate Cat, not so much because of Hong Kong Phooey. Mm-hmm. But Street Frogs, what is that even about?
Yeah.
They're like frog hoes.
It's just frogs in leather jackets.
Oh my god.
It's just, hey, you on the street. Don't make me get happy.
You got any flies? You got flies?
I got those flies for you.
I got flies. Sometimes I put them in ice cubes.
That was a tangent.
It was a horrible tangent, and you're leaving it too.
I'm gonna. Though his origins are not really explained in the series, Mum-Ra lives in a black pyramid and uses a sarcophagus. The imagery and scenery within the pyramid resemble ancient Egyptian burial chambers. The implication is that he is an ancient Egyptian who has survived his own civilization.
Yeah, I always kind of figured that. I mean, he is a mummy.
Yeah, like
Mum-Ra. And at that time, like, you know, when you're like 5 or 6 years old, you don't liken like Chinese mummies or like Central American mummies or like Ice Age mummies.
Right.
You know, you're just like, all mummies are Egyptian. King Tut, bitch.
Yeah. Despite his great powers, several early episodes depicted Mum-Ra as having a major weakness. He could not stand the sight of his own reflection. Whenever he caught a glimpse of it, he reverted to his mummified form and fled to his pyramid. The weakness was removed later in the series. Yeah, because that's a fucking weak-ass weakness.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
but I mean...
You know what that shit reminds me of? It reminds me of...
Medusa?
No, Dorian Gray.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
You know, where he can't see his own picture or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Or he'll fucking turn into dust.
He'll wither and die. Mum-Ra. I don't even know that's not even a good Mum-Ra, but whatever. The main setting of the series is a planet called Third Earth. This is supposed to be our own Earth in its distant future. Though humans are no longer the dominant species, several figures from the past of the planet do make appearances, including the Lady of the Lake and Merlin from Arthurian legends. Mum-Ra is supposed to be a survivor from an earlier era, in his own words, from a time when this was still First Earth. The wise mentor figure of the series, Jaga, dies from old age in the initial episodes. However, he stays around as a ghost and often plays key parts in various stories.
The leader of the Thundercats, Lion-O, is mostly a child in an adult's body. Early in the series, the Thundercats enter suspended animation during an interplanetary journey. Lion-O enters the suspension capsule as a child and emerges years later as a muscular adult, without having any memory of the intervening years.
So he's like a giant kitten.
He is.
That's fucking hilarious. I don't even think that I remember that being a thing. Him being a child in a man's body. He just so happens to be like that, exactly that.
Just a big old man child.
Yeah.
He's fucking Tom Hanks. He's big.
He is big with a sword.
Yeah.
And villains. That is a great analogy. Love it. Yeah. Great comparison.
Yes.
The initial episodes feature the destruction of planet Thundera and depict the handful of Thundercats as the last survivors of their race and civilization. 3 more survivors turned up in the second season of the series and joined the main cast. Many others turned up later, though few played major roles. And I like that too. And it's funny because like that's another thing that I noticed in the remake is like, because I don't remember there being a Lynx-O. But you know what I'm saying? Like they're just, it's funny because they even have to name Lion-O's dad, who is King Claudius. You know, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I guess not all the cat names are still available. Call him fucking Russian Bloomius. Fucking. At the end of each episode, Lion-O, Chitara, Panthro, and some of the other good guys in the series give the younger viewers tips and advice about life.
I mean, even though she isn't a complete human, she's a cat humanoid. Chitara could have got it when I was a kid.
That's where you're gonna go with this. You would fuck. Ew, dude. Ew.
Only if she wanted me to, because we at the Nerd Corporation are pro consent.
I don't think we said that on the last episode. We need to let the people know, God damn it. Cosplay is not consent. If you see Chitara at a convention, goddammit. For future fucking reference.
Oh my god.
It seems to be like a common theme too with shows in this like timeline. G.I. Joe also did that at the end where they gave you like the don't do drugs, eat your Wheaties. G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle.
I never listened to any of that shit.
None of it. But it doesn't mean that they didn't try.
Goodness, they gave it the old college try.
They did, and Lionel tried to tell me to, but I didn't even listen to the other lion that wore a Dare shirt, so...
Yeah, I disappointed the fuck out of that.
Anyway...
The main villain of the series, Mumra, as we've been talking about, the ever-living and undead evil sorcerer. His typical form looks like a mummified corpse, though he's able to transform into a muscular superhuman form by using an incantation. He is also a shapeshifter who can assume the guises of other people or create new ones.
Oh, so he's like, he can go Super Saiyan, or he can be like Morph from the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with this. I like my Mumra. Like I said, he was just terrifying as a child.
Yeah.
That's what I remember about Mumra. Scared the shit out of me. Like, I was one of those kids that would cover my eyes whenever Mumra would come on the screen. I was like, I can't watch this guy!
While Mumra displays many powers during the course of the series, the most consistent one is that he cannot actually die or be destroyed. He is restored after whatever disaster befalls his body. As Mumra, the ever-living, explains it,
Oh, wherever evil exists, Mumra lives.
Philip Schofield accidentally introduced a showing of the cartoon as Thunderpants on morning television.
Thunderpants Ho.
Thunderpants Ho!
That's the porno,
That's the porno right there. Thunderpants Hose. This was a popular joke about Thundercats from before the book Thunderpants was written. The cartoon premiered 2 weeks after the UK broadcast of the two-part Doctor Who 1963 TV series story Doctor Who Attack of the Cybermen Part 2. Both the Thundercats and Cybermen relocate to planets following the destruction of their planets, Thundara and Mondas.
Don't forget to listen to our Doctor Who episode, Bow Ties Are Cool. You can find it on iTunes and YouTube and Podcast Addict and Podbean.
All of the pod things.
All of the pod things.
Look us up. We're out there. We do things.
We out here. In 2011, a reboot of the original 1980s TV series of the same name, Thundercats, was developed by Warner Brothers Animation and animated by Studio 4 Degrees Celsius, and combined elements of Western animation with Japanese anime. The series began with an hour-long premiere on Cartoon Network, July 29th, 2011.
Loved it.
Did you? Was it
did.
good? I never watched it.
I was way into it, and you're going to love it too, and I can promise you that.
I'm so excited.
Following the destruction of their home, the Kingdom of Thundera, the Thundercats, a group of humanoid Felidae,
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, are forced to roam the planet Third Earth in order to find a way to defeat the evil sorcerer Mumra, who plans on taking over the universe. Story-wise, the series attempts to take a much darker and more cinematic approach than the original show, featuring a lot more focus on the characterization and more sophisticated themes. And I thought it was fucking awesome. Like, I got like 4 episodes in, totally loved what I saw. Will Friedle, is that his name? He was on Boy Meets World as well?
Yeah, he was Eric.
Yeah, he voices Lionel.
He does a lot of voices, I
Yeah,
hear.
he's also Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. And then the other thing about this show that kind of got me too is Snarf doesn't talk.
What?
Yeah, Snarf is like a weird little cat that like this Japanese person voices that's just like
That's it? Like he doesn't say words?
No,
though?
he makes like noises.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but and then like they changed the backstory of Snarf too. Like Snarf was like technically Lionel's nanny.
Okay.
And then as Lionel grew older, he just became kind of like a pet.
Huh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like that a lot more than them just having a quirky little companion that's just like, Snarf, Snarf.
Well, Snarf, I'm real good, and Snarf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I kind of like, I understand the it being more of like a cat thing if it's just kind of like a pet and not so much as a character. Because it's also there for comedic relief, too. They kind of leave that aspect of the character with Snarf.
That's good.
So I was cool with that. Initially planned for 52 episodes, it was confirmed by Thundercats art director Dan Norton in early 2013 that the show had been canceled after only one season. Reruns of the show later aired on Adult Swim's Toonami block. And a little known fact that I thought it was cool because I recognized it. Like I said, I was watching this, and I'm just like, I know the dude's voice. And so I actually Googled this shit like when I started watching the 2011 one, and found out that Larry Kenney, the original voice actor of Lion-O, voices Lion-O's father, King Cloudus.
That's cool.
And they even get him to say Thundercats ho when he's teaching Lion-O how to use the Sword of Omens. He just like straight up like, well, it's not even that. Like they get in a big fight. There's a general, I can't remember his name, but like he killed Panthro, and fucking like Lion-O's dad has to go into battle, and he pulls out the Sword of Omens and fucking Thundercats ho! Like,
that's dope.
And like I got chills when he did it. I was like, oh, he did the thing. I love this.
He did it.
Yeah, because once I realized that it was Larry Kenney, I was like, no way they're gonna let him do it. And then he did it, and I was like, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. 35-year-old me had like a brief moment of just fucking, just
childhood bliss.
Yeah, just perfect fucking awesomeness.
Despite being based on the original 1980s TV series, the 2011 version differs greatly from it, with many aspects of the original show's story and characters being different. When comparing the original series to the 2011 reboot, producer Michael Jelenic stated that the old show felt more like a Saturday morning animated series, and this feels more like a movie. Jelenic also said that their take is definitely darker, but we've put a lot more focus on the characters and the arc, and because of that, we might have a few more sophisticated themes going on in this. Michael Jelenic stated that before work even began on the series, the makers mapped out an entire beginning, middle, and end for the show's storyline, which was then broken up into 13 episode arcs. Some stories from the original show will also be seen in these arcs.
That was one thing I did like too, and I noticed because Tigra and Lion-O are brothers, and there's like a bit of a rivalry going on between them. Like Tigra's that arrogant asshole older brother in this show, and he's just like, I'm the one that's meant to be the king, and Lion-O's like, bitch, I'm doing the best I can, is Lion-O.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, and they, like, when Tigra has to come in and fight, he's like, oh, gotta save your ass again. That type of shit. So that was one thing I kind of liked, and you could tell that they fleshed it out a lot more too. And Cheetara as well, and also Wily Kit and Wily Cat. They're like street thieves. In this.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You definitely got to watch that fucking remake. The animation for the series was done by Warner Brothers Animation and Studio 4C. According to supervisor director of Studio 4C, Shinichi Matsumi, they were handed the basic concept for the show by Warner Brothers and were assigned to adjust them into the Japanese anime design. Matsumi believed that they had succeeded in pushing the style of the anime in the show with a variety of visual elements such as scene compositions, effects, and colors, as well as the action scenes. Kevin Kalesh composed the music for Thundercats, for which he took inspiration from John Williams, James Horner, Jerry Goldsmith, among others. Despite being orchestral, Kalesh also incorporated elements of electronics into the series' music.
So it's all electro?
Mm-hmm. And now we go... The podcast takes a turn.
Thundercats Roar.
Nope.
On May 18th, 2018, it was announced that a third Thundercats cartoon, Thundercats Roar, will premiere on Cartoon Network in 2019.
Thundercats whores.
The show's developers are Victor Courtwright and Marley Halpern Grazer.
Their names are stupid.
Courtwright previously worked on Pickle and Peanut.
Nobody watches that show.
I've never fucking heard of that show. As a writer, storyboard artist, and then created the Cartoon Network Studios digital series, Get 'em Tommy.
Nobody's heard of that either.
Fucking shit.
So let's just get these guys that have done nothing and let them fuck up my shit.
Halpern Grazer previously worked as a writer for various DC Nation shorts and was co-creator of Disney XD's show Right Now, Kapow. Thundercats Roar features less realistic cartoony animation and a more lighthearted comedic tone than previous Thundercats installments. The show has a premise similar to the original. The Thundercats escape their dying homeworld Thundera only to crash on Third World, facing off against various villains including Third World's evil overlord Mumra.
Dumb.
Third World? Why did they call
Dumb.
it? Why did they call it? Why not just keep calling it Third Earth?
Dumb. That's why.
The announcement of Thundercats Roar garnered a severe backlash from fans of the original 1980 series and the 2011 series, who have criticized the animation style, creators, and shift to comedy. Despite Courtwright's reassurance that the action would still be an important aspect of the new series, fans against the changes made unfavorable comparisons to Teen Titans
Or
Go.
Steven Universe. That's what it looks like to me.
It does kind of look like Steven Universe. But Steven Universe is a good show.
I don't do like contemporary cartoons really.
No.
Like I just barely got into Adventure Time like a year ago.
Yeah, no, Steven Universe is actually a really funny show. It's really quirky. It's good. I don't fucking want it. I mean, it doesn't
belong with my goddamn Thundercats.
It really doesn't.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't. I don't apologize. I agree with you.
Dude, they went the route of fucking Firefly with 2011. They should have just fucking rode that shit out.
Yeah.
Fuck. Horrible fucking bullshit.
Horrible fucking bullshit.
I'm just not even ready for this. I don't want anything to do with it.
I don't know, man. No. No, like...
And I'm usually like, I'm always a negative Nancy, and you can always expect me to look for the bullshit in whatever it is they're trying to sell us. Especially when it comes to nostalgia. Mm-hmm. And this is fucking stupid.
No, literally. I always try to find at least some good in something.
Yeah, you do. He even liked the new Ghostbusters.
I did. I loved the new Ghostbusters.
See?
I thought it was great.
Fucking ridiculous. All of it.
Or whatever. But anyway. But not this. I can't. I can't subscribe.
No, and and on top of that, they're making a brand new rebooted Ninja Turtles fucking movie too.
They need to stop that.
They need to fucking quit.
They need to stop that.
If you're not gonna put people in fucking costumes and make it fucking like they did, or continues, or even do a fucking story arc that somebody gives a shit about, like, god damn it, quit trying to contemporize everything that fucking was. Either fucking remake it properly, fucking make awesome fucking references and callbacks. Contemporize it. You make it in modern day fucking setting. I don't give a damn if fucking Lionel's got a cell phone.
Right?
But Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like,
you turned him into a dwarf.
He's a jackass now.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, we just have to let it go, I guess. Because we don't make the fucking movies.
That's the American way, I guess.
That's the way Dad did it. That's the way America does it.
It's worked out so far.
That's true. Question of the week for next week is, who would win, Cap or Superman? Because we're going all patriotic on everybody.
Since it'll be, July 4th.
And I will allow Captain America to have some form of kryptonite something. Even if he's got his shield laced with it or something. Yeah. So that will be a thing. Feel free to chime in. Let us know what you think or who you think would win that battle. And we'll talk about it here. We'll talk about it over coffee.
Over coffee.
Coffee talk.
Coffee talk. As always, you can find us on social media at Facebook, The Nerd Corporation,
Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcorp Podcast,
or you could email us at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And for those looking to continue to seek the knowledge of the Book of Omens with us, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/Nerdcorp Podcast. Several tiers of loot to be had, from ringtones and giveaways to shoutouts and bonus episodes.
We'd like to apologize to Mel Gibson for not being able to get you on this week. Hopefully you can come back another time and talk about Thundercats hose with us.
Yeah, he was rumored to be Lion-O, like, back in the 90s. There was, I had heard talks about there being a Thundercats movie.
Huh.
Or, early 2000s. With the popularity of superhero movies becoming a thing, and Mel Gibson was supposed to be the one.
That's crazy.
For that. And after Braveheart, you can see it.
Yeah, you can.
You could absolutely see it. Shit.
You can see it.
Anyway, once again for the Nerd Corporation, I'm Eddie Lyon.
And what the fuck?
I got ahead of myself.
You're so
I'm sorry,
God,
dude.
Fucking, you fuck this up every single time.
One of these days, I won't, and it'll get it.
Whatever,
we'll
man.
Have a thing.
What the fuck?